Rolex is synonymous with excellence in sailing, which is why 40 years ago they chose the St. Thomas Yacht Club to start an international relationship with the sport that has endured to this day. Hi, I'm Tucker Thompson, and welcome to the 40th anniversary of the International ROLEX Regatta, a pinnacle event throughout the Caribbean. And perhaps nobody knows more about its evolution than Regatta director Billy Canfield. He's been here for all 40 years.
Hi, I'm Bill Canfield. I'm the Regatta Director of the 40th International ROLEX Regatta. We are the first regatta that Rolex ever sponsored, so we're really proud of that. That's fantastic for us. We've had so many different phases. We started out with 10 boats. I can remember the day the first J24 came, and it just blew the CSA rule apart. And a couple years later, Gary Hoyts came in with the first Freedom 40, and he actually rode it in with long oars. It was very cool. But just the memories I have of this regatta are fantastic, sailing with some of the Caribbean legends. You know, having a sponsor like Rolex is like gold. They do everything right. They want us to do everything right. And so they've kept us bringing the best race officers, the best judges, and you know, having them helping us out with everything and the effort they put into it, it's just made it all possible.
We begin today with 2 distance races to Charlotte Amalie Harbor and back. It's a light southeasterly breeze as we join the action on the starting line. The first class off is IRC. It's Island Water World off the line first, crossing the fleet on port with the brand new Donnybrook well to windward. A good start for these 2 boats, a bad start for Germany's Hospa Hamburg. They started at the 1-minute gun and will have to turn around. It's Maximizer and Ceramco in CSA 1 down near the pin end. A jibe and a set for Maximizer. Beautiful start, but they're on port with a starboard tacker. Make that 2 starboard tackers. They duck the first one with a big spinnaker. We could see a collision here. Oh, unbelievable, but it's all clear. Sergio Sagramoso's Lazy Dog was the starboard tacker. Now on port, he likes a higher angle and will duck White Rhino. Now it's CSA 2's turn. Good start for Boogaloo to windward in the Melges 24. The bad news, Rumline is on port and they'll have to wait to jibe. Crossing the line in CSA non-spinnaker is Bermuda High and Palladium. Palladium's a little bit confusing because they have a spinnaker. It's a good start for Bob Beltrano's Swan 53 Naya on starboard. The breeze, too light for the Beach Cats to fly a hull on this downwind run. Some entertainment here at the pin end in the last class to start, the IC-24s. There's the gun. He takes room, but not before a big argument. To lure to the scuffle is Puerto Rico's Fraito Lugo, looking for his record 10th Rolex watch. And now it's a long downwind run to the turning mark off of Charlotte Amalie. IRC1 rounds the leeward mark first, and the spinnaker rounds the bow of Husaria. A couple guys up on front are trying to wrestle it back on board before it rips underwater. It looks ugly, but it ends up pretty. An early drop leads to a nice spinnaker drop here for Northern Child with Ceramco behind them. Something not quite right about that picture. The It's a lot easier, in my opinion, to go upwind without the spinnaker at the top of the rig. I'm sure they'd agree. To add insult to injury, none of the sheets are attached to the boat. They're flying well behind it while the spinnaker continues to flop around at the top of the rig. They've got a snuffer at the top of the mast, and they're trying to use that to get the spinnaker down, but it's a snuffer snafu, and it doesn't have any intention of coming down too soon. It's a shorter course for CSA non-spinnaker. Paladin and Crystal are just about bow to bow off of the Marriott here at Frenchman's Reef as they head for the finish. In the IC-24's Team Orayo, the red boat is trying to catch the white boat out in front. Of course, it's Fraito Lugo again. Lugo holds them off across the finish line here in Charlotte Amalie Harbor to take the race. Taking line honors in CSA 1, it's Jack Desmond and crew aboard White Rhino. A veteran of so many international Rolex regattas crossing the line now, it is Jim Muldoon's brand new Donnybrook taking line honors in IRC. After a short break, we've started race number 2. The Beach Cats are off the line first. And the breeze has picked up. And that was the start for CSA non-spinnakers. Some comfortably across the line, others decide they'll start in a few minutes. Now it's CSA 1's turn with a stack up at the committee boat end. It's Lupo of London establishing an early lead here in the channel as they short tack towards the ocean. With IRC off the line, it's the 2 biggest boats in the regatta, Lupo of London and Donnybrook trying to live on Lupo's windward hip. Finally, Donnybrook tacks away, but then she has a starboard tack at her face. 2 tacks early on is slow. Island Water World splits all the way to the right-hand side into the rocks, pushing it dangerously close. Finally, the call comes. Let's tack. Off to the left in the distance, Lupo of London is in the lead. Now it's Husari's turn. Local star Taylor Canfield. He won the Bermuda Gold Cup. Now he's racing with an all-female crew aboard Stinger. Down the rocks, and now it's upwind into open water. Diane Masters Ceramco, the former Whitbread winner owned by the late Sir Peter Blake. She's trying to get the boat back to New Zealand so it'll go on display in Auckland. Inshore is the way to go on this beat. That's where we find Rich Westland's El Ocaso, closest into the rocks. One hour into this race, and Donnybrook and Lupa of London are still stuck together all the way around the track. Two tacks later, and Donnybrook has nudged their nose out in front of Lupa. Now it's a jibe set for both crews. So far, so good for Donnybrook. Now it's Lupa's turn. Donnybrook's spinnaker has not filled yet, and Lupa's has. A long windward leeward later, and it is Donnybrook who has stretched out over Lupo of London. We're heading to the finish. At the finish, it's no surprise for Jim Muldoon. Line honors again for Donnybrook. And so the 40th annual International ROLEX Regatta is off to a good start. New to the event this year is the addition of the Melges 32s sailing on their own racecourse, which is why we didn't see them today, but we definitely will tomorrow as our coverage continues here in St. Thomas. I'm Tucker Thompson. Thanks for joining us.